do. If you have a cell phone, please silence it, turn it off, whatever, so it doesn't make noise during the meeting. And I'll call a special meeting of the Oregon City Commission to order for Wednesday, September 7th, 2016. This is general business interview 16-505, interviews for the Urban Renewal Commission position. First up is Martha Spears.
Do you want me to do roll call first, or?
Oh, well, it's not on here, but yeah, let's do roll call real
Okay.
quick.
Commissioner Shaw?
Here.
Commissioner Smith?
Here.
Commissioner Mengelberg? Here. Mayor Holliday?
Here.
Okay. Now I will get.
Okay.
Good evening.
So, name and city of residence, just for the record, please.
Martha Spires, Oregon City.
Okay. Commissioner Shaw?
All right. Well, thank you for applying. We're just going to go with Martha this evening. Is that okay? All right,
perfect.
great. Well, thanks for being here. So our first question here, Martha, is please provide us with a brief introduction of yourself, your background and experience, and why you want to serve on the city's Urban Renewal Commission.
Okay. Well, I have lived in Oregon City for 10 years. I've worked for Clackamas County for 25 in their behavioral health division. I'm a manager. I manage crisis and safety net services for the county, behavioral health, and in particular, I manage a crisis clinic called Centerstone, which opened in 2012 in the Clackamas area. That's a passion for me, and I'm also raising a family here. I have two daughters. One is in college, and one is at Beaver Creek Elementary. And I am an old parent for such young children. And
They'll make you that way.
Yeah.
that's
Me too.
exactly right. And I'm looking at, potentially retiring from the county at the end of 2017 and getting more involved. I'm interested in this commission because I'm really kind of excited about the direction Oregon City's been going in, and I'm excited that it's a regional center, and I have a particular interest in, at the county, I do behavioral health disaster planning, and I'm interested in kind of environmental sustainability and forecasting climate change issues and looking at resiliency in terms of those. I'm also interested in diversity and equity issues, and I would love to see Oregon City become diverse in terms of its business community, and I'd love to be a part of that.
Great. Thank you. All right, good.
Commissioner Smith?
Very good. What is your level of understanding of how urban renewal works? Please explain. And what are the impacts on the community that you have observed as a result of urban renewal?
Well, it's definitely not in my field. It hasn't been in my field, so this is a departure for me. So I've done some research in the very recent past. So I'd say my understanding is pretty surface.
Okay.
I know that it's a state led function, legislated through statute and rule, and that municipalities have the option of opting in, and that Oregon City did that in the 80s. I know that it is targeting what's been determined as blighted areas and providing incentives to fix those up. In terms of what I've seen, I have worked on the Red Soils campus, and I think that the Hilltop area, I mean, that was part of an urban renewal project, right?
Yep.
And that's been pretty exciting. I think that's kind of a wonderful campus. I also know that there are a lot of businesses that are struggling up on Hilltop, and I'm not sure if that's due to just the economy, or haven't tried to analyze that. Does that answer your question?
I think so.
Yeah, that's good.
So do you think urban renewal is a beneficial economic development tool? Why or why not?
I do think it's a beneficial economic development tool, or I wouldn't be applying for this position. I think that I want to say something about the livability of communities, and that the availability of financial resources and different incentives, as well as partnering between public and private sectors, can only help make more green spaces, better livability in a city. Not a very articulate answer, but.
Thank you. Commissioner Megawork?
What are the current urban renewal work plan objectives and priorities?
Current work plan objectives and priorities, I believe, are transportation, I think, is amongst them. I'm not going to be very good with this answer, but I would say transportation, business development, economic development, and I think that's, I am not sure. Are you talking about the downtown and North End district, or are you talking about sort of within that plan? You're talking about within that plan?
That's the one urban renewal district we have now. So.
Okay. So I think I can't give you that very well.
Okay.
Commissioner Shaw?
All right. All right, Martha, so what is a significant contribution that you could make to Urban Renewal Commission's effort in accomplishing the goals and objectives of the Urban Renewal Plan?
I think the contribution that I could make is partly has to do with my long association with the county, and I have very good connections in that area. I also have been a leader in my field in terms of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and I think that I could bring that lens, as well as looking at things from a kind of a disaster planning standpoint.
Good, thank you.
Commissioner Smith?
In your opinion, how well informed are Oregon City citizens about the fundamentals of urban renewal? And if communication or informational improvements are needed, what ways would you improve community education about urban renewal?
Well, I would say that probably Oregon City residents are not very informed, and I would count myself amongst them. In terms of communication strategies, I looked on the website and looked at that blue collar project, and I thought that was kind of a wonderful tool for marketing, and I sort of wondered why I had never seen that before, but I think that efforts like that would probably be very helpful.
Okay.
Thank you.
If chosen, how would you interpret your role, and what would be your expectations throughout your term of service as an Oregon City Urban Renewal Commission member?
How would I interpret my role? Well, I am not very clear on what my role would be. My guess is that there are questions that come in front of the commission and that there are experts who are presenting statements, and that the commission as a body is making decisions based on expert presentations.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Mayerberg?
Do you have any additional comments, or is there anything that you'd like to ask the commission?
Well, I guess I would like to ask what the primary goals and objectives are in the terms of the plan, and what the role would be. Just to ask those two questions that I feel I failed on.
You want to take that one, Commissioner Smith?
Well, because
Well,
here's
I
our
mean-
senior member. Let's say, been here the longest, I can't say senior member.
I'll see, and you open the door, and I'm not going to walk through it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I'm sorry, I just thought I'd clarify that, Mayor Holliday, yeah.
Well, I think one of the main, there's obviously a huge debate in Oregon City about urban renewal and how it's used, whether it's used correctly, etc. I think that, recently Oregon City has done a pretty good job, really good job of really focusing in on what those missions have been, making sure that the focus in downtown, especially with the storefront grants and other programs that we're doing that are really narrowing down on what our goal is in bringing business into Oregon City. There is, a much wider view in terms of the goals than just downtown. But I think centering on that in the last few years has really kind of focused in on that area and how it lends to the rest of the urban renewal district. I think it's the addition of all the other projects that are happening in Oregon City working together. I was really saying to someone else the other day that this is all my personal feeling, of course, but that because of that focus in downtown Oregon City, that opens the door for other things like the partners that have been created at the Willamette Falls site and even new developments that might be in the future for the Cove, which is happening now, but also the rivers next to that across the freeway. So as an urban renewal commissioner, you would be part of that group to push that plan forward and work on that plan. I think we all have a question about what the role we all have will be coming November,
Right.
because we don't know what the voters will decide.
Right.
So there's a big question for the voters to decide in November, and that could very much change the shape of what urban renewal is completely in Oregon City, and whether or not this commission
Exists.
exists
Right,
or
right.
continues in the way that it's doing now. So, I think it's hard to know exactly what that future is going to be and what this how this commission forms going forward. I don't know if that answered the entire question or not.
Let me take a shot at the general work plan. So there are like 7 or 8
main
bullet
projects.
points. We're going to survey 922 Main, which is the lot across from Dutch Brothers, to determine the railroad right of way. I think we're pretty far along in that. Enhanced promotion of the urban renewal grant programs, both the storefront grant and the adaptive reuse grant programs inside the urban renewal area. Conduct an analysis on other grant programs for urban renewal. Pursue the former landfill property development, so the area around Home Depot, and pursue development on downtown infill lots. There's a couple. The Urban Renewal Commission actually owns one at 12th and Main, and then conduct a parking study. So those are the work plan objectives for 2015, 2017.
Thank you.
Was there 2 questions there, or did we answer your
Well,
question?
Oh, the
what her-
role.
what her role
was
would
the
be.
other, yeah. Assuming the commission continues.
Yes.
I'm confident that the commission will continue. Okay, thank you for your
All
time.
right,
Appreciate
thank
you
very
coming in.
much.
Thank you, Martha.
Is Mr. Costa out there?
Yes.
Okay. So, name and city of residence for the record, please.
Michael Acosta, Oregon City.
Okay, welcome. Where's my checklist? So I believe Commissioner Shaw has the first question.
Yes, I do. Welcome, Michael. Thank you for applying to the Urban Renewal Commission here. So we've got half a dozen questions here for you. So the first one's going to be please provide us with a brief introduction of yourself, your background and experience, and why you want to serve on the city's Urban Renewal Commission.
Okay. I've lived in Oregon City for most of the last 11 years. Did a brief stint in Portland and decided to come back.
Yes.
Love the area. I want to make the city better for my children in the future, and I want to see the area thrive. I don't have any specific experience in, I guess, the political realm, but I want to be a part of my community.
Great. Thank you.
Commissioner Smith?
What is your level of understanding of how urban renewal works, and what impacts on the community have you observed as a result of urban renewal?
So my level of understanding is what's available publicly. Like I said, I haven't been involved in a regular basis. I've read up on it. I've observed the benefits that it's brought to downtown in the last decade. And I'm not sure what else to say beyond that.
Okay.
How do you think urban renewal is a beneficial economic development tool? Why or why not?
I absolutely do. It brings business. It brings, for lack of a better term, customers, tenants. It's something that I think is it's of benefit to the community as a whole in the side effects of what it brings in.
Commissioner Mengelberg?
Okay, what are the current urban renewal work plan objectives and priorities?
So I don't know about priorities. I know that there's a lot of work downtown, along Main Street, along 99E, the 7th Street corridor. And I'm not sure of what the specific priorities are at this point. I think the most recent information I could find online was several years old. So I know what the list of goals were, but I'm not sure of priorities.
Thank you.
Commissioner Shaw?
So, Michael, what is a significant contribution that you could make to the Urban Renewal Commission's effort in accomplishing the goals and objectives of the Urban Renewal Plan?
I think as an at-large citizen, I could be an advocate for the people who live and work here.
Okay, thanks.
Commissioner Smith?
In your opinion, how well informed are Oregon City citizens about the fundamentals of urban renewal? And if communication or informational improvements are needed, what ways could we improve, or what ways could you improve community education on urban renewal?
Unfortunately, I think that it's misunderstood or not well known. I think to remedy that, I would definitely advocate for more updates to the Oregon City website, make it more accessible, and some sort of even verbal outreach just to let business owners and citizens know what it is and what it does and why it's beneficial.
Okay.
Thank you.
If chosen, how would you interpret your role, and what would be your expectation throughout your term of service as an Oregon City Urban Renewal Commission member?
Again, I would want to be an advocate for the citizens and business owners and employees of the city. I want to see this grow into something that we're proud of and leave a better place behind us.
Okay.
Do you have any other comments, or is there anything that you would like to ask the commission?
I don't think I do beyond what I've said, in that I think making this more visible and apparent would be of benefit to the city and to the commission itself, to show what can be done and what the goals are.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
your
Michael.
time.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
All right, thank you.
I assume that screen in the lobby is still off? Okay. So how do you folks want to proceed? Does anybody have an opinion on where we want to go?
I have a strong recommendation for an individual, if we would like to go there, or do we want to write things, put a little slip of paper out and take a little straw vote here, or what? How do we do it, Katie?
I was hoping that one of you might nominate someone and we would go from there.
Okay, I can do that. Or do we want discussion?
Let's do just like a top two, 1, 2,
Okay.
and let her tally that up, and then we'll see if we're all on the same page. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm pretty much where I'm at.
Just go ahead and write them on your pads. And I'll take the top sheet.
I want to go back over my notes for just a second.
You're fine.
Whenever you're ready. No hurry.
And we're just growing all over here, Shaw.
Perfect, thank you.
A lot of kids out there.
It was all 4 unanimous for Mike
Really?
Mitchell.
There you
There you
go.
go.
Perfect.
So,
without a
could we get an official motion? and
without a discussion, that was good.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Appreciate that. So now
Yeah.
I would entertain a motion to appoint Mr. Mitchell to the Urban Renewal Commission.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Smith, seconded by Commissioner Mengelberg. Is there any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Okay, go ahead and place your electronic votes. And Commissioner Shaw,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Mengelberg,
Aye.
Mayor Holliday.
Aye.
It's unanimous.
Okay, that ends this particular piece of our meeting tonight. We will adjourn this meeting and reconvene at 7 o'clock.